there! Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're well. And I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. What I want to do is I want to compare two eyeshadow palettes to each other, which kind of have the same origin because they are both originating from the same collab. It's the Soph from Sophs in collaboration with Makeup Revolution, these two palettes. And this one is the older one. It came out like long ago in beauty community timeline wise, you know what I mean. And then this is the new one. It came out in June, and I've been playing around with it as well. So I wanted to kind of compare these two to each other and give you like a review of which one of those I think is nicer, which one of those I would recommend to whom, which one I like more. So you get the concept. I'm gonna show you swatches of all the colors in this palette. And yeah, let's just go right into it and let's see what's gonna happen. So both palettes kind of have the same packaging, as you can see. This one have the same size, as you can see. This one is a little bit like with this reflective surface, which makes this video really hard. And this one doesn't have that, just the Soph X letters are like that. And then you don't have too much difference in the packaging. So this one is the first one. I hope you can see it well. It has this kind of plastic on top of it, which kind of indicates the names, you know. It shows like, okay, this is this. And you see 24 eye shades, so in a kind of, let's say neutral, muted way, berry style colors. Yeah, that's the first palette. Has a big ass mirror, which is really nice. The second one is this one. It also has a really big mirror, and it only comes with 18 shades. As you can see, the names are printed on here. As you can see, can you see it? Can you? And yeah, it's so 6 shades less than in the first palette. Both palettes retail for the same price. They both retail for around 12 euros in Europe, so that would be at least in Germany and Spain. That's where I got my two palettes. And in the US, I believe they retail on the Makeup Revolution webpage around $15. And in the UK, I believe they're like around 10 pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first one has a lot of matte browns, as you can see, like these rows here with this one. All these ones are kind of in a brown area, these two here. So you have a lot of matte browns. If you're into that, it's a good color story. You have pops of colors, which are kind of muted, as you can see already. And yeah, this is kind of the color story behind it. So if you like neutral looks with muted pops of color, this is the color story you might be looking for. And the second one is more kind of bright colors, I would say summer colors. It has this vibrant yellow in it, this vibrant pink shade. And the shimmers are also like more like this one, Romance, or this one, Infinity, or Enchant. Is it called? Yeah, no, Everyday. It's called Everyday. They are more like a bit bright, a bit more there, and also La Sun is really, really bright. So this is kind of, yeah, a bit more vibrant palette. As you can see, you don't have so much matte browns, sorry, but you still have them here in case you're looking for them, but not as many as in the first palette. So let's go into the swatches. So here are we with the swatches. This is from the first palette, the first 2 rows. So I don't know if you can tell really well. I'm sorry, my lighting is not really good, but I hope you can see what I want to say. So you can see all the different matte browns, like this one, these two, and these two. They are showing up differently on the skin, and you can definitely also tell the difference on the eyes, as I can tell you from experience. And yeah, it's pretty good that you have all these different shades in case you're like into this. This is really nice. I hope you can see this one a little bit. The color Pancakes doesn't really show up on my skin because basically it's my skin tone. So yeah, this is the color Penguin. For a matte white, it's quite nice to have it there because, you know, it's nice to like brighten out some colors. I don't really think it's necessary in this palette because all the colors are already quite brightened out, but it's there. So if you're into that, it's there for you, waiting for you. And yeah, you can see the two like kind of shimmer highlighter shades. Maybe I use this one as a highlighter shade, the color Fairy Lights, but Pink Champagne I just use as a normal eyeshadow since I'm not so much into pink highlighters. But you can see they go on quite shimmery. I think you can tell on camera that they pick up quite nicely. And then you can see the three goldish shimmery ones. This one has more like, it's like a true copper with, you know, with this kind of rusty undertone. Then you have this one, which is Sparks Fly, that goes on a bit more opaque than the first one, than Grow Old. And yeah, has definitely more like of a brown, like true brown undertone. And this one, the next one, Smoky Bronze, is like really bronzy, has a really dark brown undertone. I do think they're really similar, especially these two, to each other, and sometimes on the eyes I cannot really tell the difference, to be honest. This one is not as opaque, which is a bit of pity because I think it's the prettiest one of all of those. And then you see the color Mixed Berries that when I initially got this palette had really high hopes for, but it just doesn't go on as, you know, like opaque and pigmented as you would want it to be. So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer, but you can build it up, but you have to spend some time there to build it up. Okay, so these are the last two rows from the first palette. You can see this is a way more colorful row than the first one, I guess. I hope you can really tell, like, I'm not sure, I'm sorry for the lighting, I'm really not a professional in this, but I hope you can see what I'm talking about. So you see the mattes are here pumpkin, even though it has a little bit of glitter in it. No, this is pumpkin, this is cloudberry. Then you can see puck and danger and strawberry sweets, and then mug cake and rosewood. So I really like these two mattes here, the cloudberry and the pumpkin, and also the strawberry sweets, because they're a bit more intense. They just have, you know, a little bit of more, you know, bam to them. They're not that much on the bright side. They're a bit more pastel-y, I would say. The strawberry sweets is, I think, the most, you know, like bright one they have here in terms of mattes. And yeah, you can also see here my absolute favorite in this palette, the color Pine Tree. I love this color. It goes on so opaque. It's super nice. It's like a green, like a forest green with like a golden sheen to it. And I also do enjoy the color Petrol, which is kind of like a plum purpley undertone with a blue shimmer to it. So it's a duochrome. I hope you can tell on camera. Can you? I don't know, it definitely doesn't look like it does in a pan, but I really like it. And then you have three more matte browns, the color Puck, the color Mug Cake, and the color Rosewood. I find Mug Cake and Rosewood are both really similar, unfortunately also towards the pigmentation, because they're not super pigmented. I had to take like 2 or 3 layers to build it up like this. And yeah, I mean, it's okay, I can work with them. They blend really nicely, so this makes up for it. And yeah, you see these two colors here, the color Festival Flame and Copper Coin. This is more like of kind of a reddish undertone. This has more, again, like kind of a... It's also reddish, but more on the burnt side of red, you know. And I do like those colors, but they're also really similar, like the gold ones before, so it's a bit of pity. And then you have here the black matte, which I find is okay for a black matte. I don't want the black matte to be super, super pigmented because I want to use it like not like super, super cautiously. So I think the pigmentation is okay. It's actually a quite good black matte, in my opinion, like in the way I use it. So these are the first 2 rows from the second palette. And you can see it's a bit more on the bright side, not super, super bright, but Personally, I think especially this shade, for example, or these two make a big difference to the first palette. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the shimmers are definitely more opaque. They are more pigmented than in the first palette, at least like the majority of them. And yeah, the mattes are more diverse in my opinion. You have like more colors to choose from. Let's go for the mattes. So we have here Running Late, we have Cheesecake, Cookie Dough, we have Vitamin C, Sweet and Sour, we have 21, Enchanted, and Lakes. I personally like especially this three. I know the yellow doesn't look like the brightest yellow ever, but it comes on really nice on the eyes. You can build it up nicely. My favorite color in this palette is the color 21. It's super nice. It goes on really nicely on the eyes. It's quite pigmented. I really like that. I really love to use that one. I reach for the palette knowing that I want to use this shade, and then I would build my look around this one. And yeah, this says something about the shade, you know, if you go for a palette just for that shade. And yeah, you can see the shimmers. We have 4 of them here. This is the color Everyday, the color Infinity, the color Dreams, and the color Romance. The first 2, Everyday and Infinity, I love them. They are so nice. I think they're pretty unique, at least in my collection. And you have kind of a silver with a rosé undertone, like really lightly. And this is kind of a silver with a tendency of blue, you know, like almost like ice. I don't know. I really like that. It's a really nice color. And both of them, I really like to reach for them. And the other 2 shimmers here that you have, I don't know, I don't reach for them for a ton. I feel like they're kind of also were already there in the first palette. Here it's kind of like the more pigmented, more opaque version of them. And yeah, I just don't reach for them that much. And I forgot to mention the last 2 matte ones here. They're kind of like this muddy, grungy tone, you know, they're Enchanted and Lakes. And I don't reach for them a ton, except if I want to make this kind of grungy look. But yeah, they go on nicely. They're not super pigmented, but they are buildable. So I think it's a nice addition to the palette to give it more diversity. This is the last row of the second palette. You can see here 6 more colors. Yeah, I really do enjoy the color Malt Wine. It goes on really nicely. These 2 shimmer shades here I do love a lot. It's the colors La Sun and Aurora. Especially I like to pair this one, the La Sun, with the pinks in the palette because I really love the combination of yellow and pink. And this color here, Aurora, is really nice. I really like it. It doesn't pick up as well on camera, I think, but it's like kind of a matte green shimmer. I know it doesn't sound really appealing, but it's nice. I really like to use it. I think it's pretty unique, actually. It's kind of cool toned. And yeah, I really like to reach for it. I think it's quite unique. And yeah, so far as the 2 matte browns go, Brownies could be definitely more pigmented, as you can see. It's not as dark and opaque as it shows up in the palette by itself, but okay, you can build it up. And then you have Chocolate Orange, which is kind of this orangey, the name says is orangey brown, which I do reach for sometimes, but I have other palettes which have this color as well that I like just a bit more. And the matte black you have here in Well is it's called here, it's Reputation. In the first palette it's called Nightmare. It's the same formula, it goes on similarly, so there's no really a difference. After seeing the swatches now, you could probably see that the colors from the first palette, they don't go on as opaque, as pigmented as from the second palette. It's not just in the swatches, it's also on the eyes, especially the shimmer shades in the second palette are way more pigmented. They give way more payoff, especially if you use them with Fix Plus or if you wet your brush just like this. And yeah, I personally really like that. And also some of the matte shades, they are just more pigmented, not all of them. Some of the mattes are from the same quality as from the first palette. So it feels like that this palette is kind of a step up quality-wise from this one, but not like beyond everything, you know? It's kind of like 1 or 2 levels up, you know? It's not like, whoa, there's like kilometers apart from each other. It's not like that. But yeah, enough that you can notice it and that you can give credit that they improved the collab in this sense, let's say. So what else did I want to say? You can see that the colors here also show up way more vibrant. So it's not just that you kind of see it in the pen vibrant and then it's in the end just a muted palette like this one is more. So it is kind of also nice if you're looking for a summer palette. This one is definitely more in the colors of summer, while this one is more muted. Also the shimmers, and they just don't go on as vibrant as you would think they would. Especially these colors, mixed berries or here petrol, they are just not as, you know, in your face as you might expect it from in the pan. And the only shade that I really think has the same quality like the second palette is this one, Pine Tree. Here in the second one you definitely have more going on this kind of vibrant mattes already, so you can do something more vibrant also in the crease. And then this one, La Sun, goes on quite nicely. Also Romance, the Infinity, the Everyday, like I already said actually. So I think also this one has more original shades, again with Everyday and the Infinity, but also Aurora. I think these three are pretty unique to this palette, sorry. And yeah, I think that's really nice if you have like shades there that make you go back to this palette because you know you only have them there. These are the two palettes next to each other, so you can definitely tell. I hope you know it's not just the lighting, but you can tell like this one is just way more pigmented and this one is also just, as I all the time saying, much more muted. And I feel like this is going on the eyes as well. So from this conclusion I can tell you, I think it's not hard to tell that this one is my favorite from both collabs. So if you don't have any of them, what would I say? I would say, are they like the best quality eyeshadows ever? No, they are not. I definitely have better quality eyeshadow palettes. But for the price point, I have to say, I mean, I mentioned the prices in the beginning, but for the price point, I do think that it is quite a good quality. You get really good value for your money. And if I compared with like palettes that are kind of in the same price range, which for me at least is like L'Oreal or Maybelline, maybe they're a little bit cheaper, but still like they don't have this amount of shades as these two have. And when I compared with them, I definitely think that they are much better, like even the first one. My opinion. You might think differently, but in my opinion they are. And yeah. Therefore, if you don't have any eyeshadow palette and you're just looking for an affordable option that gives you good value for money, I think both of them are quite a nice, why I'm showing them all the time like the other way around. Both of them are quite a nice deal. And I think that, for example, this one could be nice for you if you're really new to makeup and you think that maybe too much pigmentation will be too much to you, because a bit less pigmentation leaves also room for a bit more mistakes, let's say. And this one is a bit more vibrant, so if you already want to go in more vibrant, then go for this one. I really like it. I can really recommend it. And yeah, so if you have already this one, the first one, and you kind of think like, I don't really know, the shimmers are not so nice and the mattes could be a bit better, you know, then I think try this one because the quality is better. They did improve, especially in the shimmer shades. So if you like Pine Tree from this one, from the kind of quality, you will like the shimmers in this one. If you think already this one is like not good in quality and you don't like the shimmers, you don't like the mattes, then probably you wouldn't like this one, because I do think it has less of quality, not like hugely, but a little bit at least. So I'll give you a bit like a little of an impression what you can do with my favorite palette of these two. I made an eye look using this one. I think you could already tell maybe. I put basically this one in my all over, like blended it out in the crease really highly. Then I put this one concentrated in the crease. Then I put on La Sun, like in the inner corner of my eyelid, until the middle more or less. And then I put on in the outer corner here, I put on the color Romance. And then I would deepen up everything a little bit with this color Enchanted, just a tiny little bit, you know. And then I basically did exactly the same on the lower lash line. And actually I cheated because for the highlighter shade, I did go into the first palette. I cheated. And I put on this one here, which, yeah, I think I just lost the name. Paper. Great time. Great timing. Yeah, so this was my comparison. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you think it was nice. Leave a comment. What you think about the two palettes. Do you have one of the palettes? I would really love to chat about it. I just don't want to present you this and that's it. I really want to chat with you about the two palettes. So which one do you like? Which one do you recommend, like yourself? Which experience did you make? And if you want to subscribe, please go ahead. That would be meaning so much to me. I know there's only one video up because this is my very first YouTube video and I'm planning on doing more. I'm planning to develop a channel based on makeup and beauty and would love to chat with you about it. Just have a space where I can actually chat with people who care about makeup as much as I do. I hope I see you in my next video and thank you so much for watching again. Bye bye!